Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. I just want to take a few moments today and just share another aspect to the Imam resigning and me stepping forward. Another aspect of what I shared recently with me stepping forward to reorganize the ASM and the coverage concerning that. New leader steps forward to revive Islamic group, all that I've put out. Well, here, and all that was 2003. Okay, look at this date here, April 30th, 03. Okay, and what does this say here? Mustafa El-Amin, prostate cancer, Gleason score 6, right? Your diagnosis. Recently, your doctor removed samples of tissue from your prostate during a biopsy procedure. The tissue samples that were removed during the biopsy were sent to a laboratory where specially trained doctors, pathologists, examined them under a microscope. The pathologists have reported to your doctor that there is cancer in your prostate. So I had prostate cancer, and I'm going to walk you through this process. Take a few minutes. So when you know all that went on and you see the coverage that I got, also in the back of my mind, more so my body and everything, was untreated prostate cancer. Just want to walk you through the process if you have a few minutes. So when you see all this coverage, Chicago Tribune, I showed you the New York Times, etc. All of this is with me knowing that I have cancer, and Imam Muhammad knowing that I had cancer. So this was no light matter. This was very important work, very serious work, and major sacrifice for the community. Take note of the date, though. This is April, okay? So when you hear me say certain things, I'm alluding to this, that I know and the Imam know that I have cancer while I'm doing this. So when you hear me say I'll put my life on the line, I'm actually doing that. I'm actually putting my life on the line, untreated. So, brothers and sisters, I'm actually putting my life on it. When you're sick, whether it's cancer or whatever it is, these things not just affect you physically, but they affect your emotions, your your mindset, your spirit, your psychology, etc. Right, and your family. So this was April 4th, and without a lot of time, I'm going to hopefully walk you through the process because Imam Muhammad is well aware of this, and we discussed it. So when I'm saying that, I'm not playing. I'm not joking. This is untreated cancer. I'll show you later when I got it treated 2 years later. And this is 2003. So I just want you to see the seriousness when this is all tied in to 2003, and this is April, right? Listen. And I'm prepared to put my life and my family's life on the fact that I know for a fact Imam Muhammad did not want us to abandon the American Society of Muslims. He does not want to see it dissolved and decimated. I put my life on it. So, brothers and sisters, this is an important aspect of the commitment. You stepping forward. It's not like if you say you're the successor or you're the leader, you're doing it. It's not like you're getting a rose garden or something. You're saying you're willing to put yourself in a situation where you, number one, is accepting responsibility, number one, and to make extra sacrifices. Now, I'm stressing this. You see this April 30th, prostate cancer, and it went on the whole time. Okay, so I'm going to walk you a few minutes through the process of all of this and how all this was connected. And Imam and I talked about this. Okay, and it was affecting my family. It's affecting me emotionally, physically. Okay, so this is an aspect. So when we talk about what I was doing, and maybe people not understanding, and some coming against me, they didn't know, But this was the commitment of the work. So again, when you see this in the Chicago Tribune, um, here, and they came out, Master Ibrahim. When you see this here, know that this is work. Mustafa El-Amin, the Imam of Mosque in Newark, plans to revive the American Society of Muslims, the Chicago-based group that effectively dissolved after its longtime leader resigned. You see? W.D.Mohammed stepped down in August, frustrated that most imams refuse to adopt more mainstream religious ideals. One thing I do want to point out that wasn't real clear in this one here, you can see it, but I'm gonna make it real clear where some of the you can see some of the support at that time, and nobody knew. Okay, now you see this here. I'm going to go to a clearer shot of this here. Okay, very important. Okay, just keep in mind the cancer part. We'll get to that. Okay, now here, we want to share this here from the Chicago Tribune. But the society leaders said Muhammad's support is not the only factor that will determine if El-Amin succeeds in reestablishing the group. Mustafa El-Amin will get some support for reorganizing the American Society of Muslims, and we wish him well, said Aisha. Okay? The editor of the Muslim Journal said Aisha. Mustafa, a close aide to Muhammad, she said Aisha, her name Aisha Mustafa, Their quote, it said Aisha Mustafa. They didn't put the double A on it. She said, who was a close aide to Muhammad and the editor of Muslim Journal. And they quote her, she said, but many imams have begun to reevaluate the structure of the American Society of Muslims, and they are still going through this assessment. They still follow Imam Muhammad. Okay, so she wished me well too. And she say Mustafa will get some support, and I did, for reorganizing the American Society of Muslims, and we wish him well, said Aisha Mustafa, a close aide to Muhammad and the editor of the Muslim Journal. Now, over here, where it says ex-leader's power remains, we could go through that, but time-wise, I just want to go here, where he quotes somebody here. It say, I am not knowledgeable about Mustafa El-Amin plans, but if he continues to integrate us with Sunni Islam, that's fine, said Abdullah El-Amin, executive director of the Council of Islamic Organizations of Michigan, a group of 40 mosques that include followers from Iran, Pakistan, and many other Islamic countries. Quote, Islam is the belief in one God, regardless of your ethnicity. The more interaction and interrelationship between African American Muslims and immigrant Muslims, the better, said Abdul El-Amin said. So there was support, but nobody knew except myself, my family, Imam Muhammad, that I was battling with cancer. Well, let me go ahead and read this part here too. Ex-leader's power remains. Some Islamic experts noted that W.D.Mohammed is likely to remain the spiritual leader of the society and wield influence over the faithful, even if a new leader begins running the organization's affairs. Quote, it's hard to resign from a movement because you're the charismatic leader that people follow, said Professor Lawrence Memier, how do you pronounce that? I don't want to mess it up. Memier of Vassar College. Muhammad, quote, Muhammad could be waiting to see who will follow El-Amin. What he and others were trying to do is establish Sunni Islam more solidly, but it will take the next generation. Some imams, when informed of El-Amin's coming announcement to lead the society, said they were likely to support him if he continues Muhammad's effort to integrate African American Muslims with immigrant Sunni Muslims in the United States. So if you're patient with me for a few, let me take you through the steps, how this cancer tied into all of that. Nothing to play with, for sure. And plus, you're hearing for the first time you got cancer. I'm sure it took me out of it for a while. Okay, first I want to say what happened in 2003. Masjid Ibrahim was founded and established on February 26th by a few dedicated men and women, okay? And on May 29th, 2003, we were honored with a visit by Imam W.D.Mohammed, and Masjid Ibrahim became incorporated as a nonprofit organization in 2004. So we are first being established in 2003, February, okay? February 26th. Just walk through this. It may be jumpy a little bit because I'm using my hand here. February 26th, okay? 2003. Okay, first time becoming a resident Imam, right? Writing the books and traveling about. Okay, now you got that February 26th. Now, Masjid Ibrahim, Islamic Teaching and Development, that's our first location, will begin conducting Jummah on April 4th, 2003. Okay? Jummah every week. Okay, so this is we established ourselves, but we didn't open until here April, maybe March with some talim, but because at that time it was difficult getting insurance, and I wasn't going to open until we had insurance. Okay, so now you see. Okay, I'm moving along. Don't have cancer. Not aware of it. All right. April 2000, April 4th, 2003. All right, you got that? Okay, now April 30th, maybe a little bit before that, they give me this is the date of the report. I go to my urologist, etc., and they check the PSA, and they tell me it's a little high. Now you see, all right. Now that was April 4th to start the Jummah. Now I'm told I got prostate cancer, and it's no light matter when you told us off the cuff, not off the cuff, but when you suddenly said, and when you think of cancer, I mean, I have a different view now and tell people it don't automatically mean death, and try to keep the right spirit and keep doing what you can do. But this is what I'm hit with, and it's not just physical; it's psychological, right? It's emotionally affect you all kind of ways in your family. Now I'm just opening Masjid Ibrahim, and I'm told I got cancer, right? Okay, so you see this date, all right? Now I don't tell anyone about this at this time except my wife at the time and my family. I'm sure. For sure, I don't say nothing at the masjid. We just starting. Now, as you know, I've shown. Now, a month later, and I didn't communicate with the Imam. I didn't, things was moving fast at that time. Imam Muhammad comes to Masjid Ibrahim. What? A month later, I get that report on the 30th of April, May 29th, 2003. Imam Muhammad at the masjid, right? And I've shown that, so you're aware of that. But I'm just connecting everything, right? February 26, 2003, right? Then we open in April 2003, and then what? Masjid Ibrahim, right? Imam Muhammad comes to Masjid Ibrahim, and I'm still out of it, even though you see me leading them in the prayer. There wasn't a situation there for me to share that with him. In prayer at his request, and I don't know if I said. As you can see, I'm leading them in Salat. Just told her I had cancer. Okay. Okay, so now that's May 29th. Now I send Imam Muhammad a letter. Okay, letting them know concerning my health to Imam W.D.Mohammed, you see, July 15th, 2003. Now, I don't know nothing about him resigning or anything like that or me stepping forward, right? You see, Assalamu alaikum to Imam W.D.Mohammed, right? The purpose of this brief letter is to inform you that I have recently been diagnosed with an early stage of prostate cancer. My father, who is 72 years of age, was diagnosed with it in his mid-60s, and he seems to be doing just fine. Brother Imam, I feel healthy and strong as of and as of yet, I don't have any of the symptoms associated with prostate cancer. However, I have read that in the early stages, one may not have any recognizable symptoms. About 9 months ago, I went to my doctor for a routine checkup. A few weeks later, I was told that my PSA was slightly elevated. It was 4.9. This is a letter I gave to Imam Muhammad, which according to my doctor was a little high for a man 45 years of age whose father had prostate cancer. He indicated that there could be some other factors that contributed to elevated PSA. I was referred to a urologist in January 2003. I took another blood test and my PSA level has slightly decreased. It went down to 4.5. The urologist informed me that because it was still over 4, that because of my age and the fact that my father had it, I might want to think about having a prostate biopsy. I agreed to have that done in early April, okay? A week later, the results came back indicating that cancer was present in my prostate. Now, here's what I want to say without reading all of it, just showing you that I'm informing the Imam. But this here is very important here. I'm putting it in bold. The first thing that came to my mind was this great work and mission that we are undertaking in America and the possibility that I might not be able to continue in this great work behind your leadership. That was my number one concern. I was saddened, but I quickly pulled myself together. So my number one concern was, how is this going to impact on my work? Okay? And when I spoke to the Imam, I eventually met with the Imam, I think it was in Virginia or Washington, and I shared it with him. So I shared it with him. I had sent him the letter, and that might have been later July. And I said, Brother Imam, and I spoke to his daughter too. I said, did you get my letter? And did your daughter tell you that I had prostate cancer? He said, no, but I'll read the letter when I get back. He said, but I'm praying for you right now. And he said, this is what you do. I told him, I said, well, brother, he said, drink plenty of water, take the core calcium and the medicine that the doctor gives you, okay? I said, Brother Imam, my major concern is what I read here. I said, my major concern is that it's going to slow me down in the work. And he said, no, it's going to make you work harder. It's going to make you work harder. So I'm thinking as I'm looking here, and I chuckle a little bit, that I'm saying to the Imam, here's a man that say he got cancer, and his main concern is it's going to slow him down in the work, his commitment. And he said, what you're saying to me is not going to go any further than me. I told him that I had just shared it with my family, but he said it wasn't. And so I never said nothing about it. And then go back to the master. I didn't publicize it. So I'm sharing this with you. This is 2003. Now, this is July that I'm sending him this letter, not knowing that he's going to resign and then he's going to come here and one thing led to another. But I'm just saying, in all of this, I'm dealing with untreated prostate cancer. Okay, brothers and sisters? And I appreciate the Imam saying, no, it's not. It's going to make you work harder. Okay? I don't know if any of you saw this here. Later, I published it in the Muslim Journal. Okay, in later years, 2016. But here you can see, don't give in to the fears. Fighting cancer, keep the faith. Okay? So I shared my experience with cancer, and I shared with you all even now. We're going to be tested and tried. It's very important to try to keep that faith in Allah and keep the good spirit and try to keep doing as much as you can. Okay, so I'm having cancer. I have cancer untreated. Okay, when we're doing this, so now you have to understand, if people are supporting me or coming against me, they don't know that, but they still have no idea how serious the work is that was being done, and especially and then the Imam tell me later that he didn't want us to resign. Okay, let me share a little bit from the paper here. Okay, after getting over the shock, I decided to do nothing and just move on with my life. In addition to going to work every day as a Newark public school teacher, I had just, like I say, began established Masjid Ibrahim. And here I just read that to you, but here the part in the Muslim Journal. And like I say, in that situation when the Imam came, I didn't tell him. However, shortly thereafter, maybe a month before the convention, I did let him know. Now here, after I told him, and I just said that to you, his first words was, I'm praying for you now, right now, okay? Then he said, hold on. Then he said it won't go any further than here, which I understood to mean that he wouldn't say anything about it. I then said to him that my concern is that it is going to slow me down in the work. Imam Muhammad suggested that I continue to take the core calcium, drink plenty of water, and take whatever medicine prescribed. That same year, September 2003, he announced at the convention that he was resigning from the ASM. I'm just sharing this part here to show you it's in the Muslim Journal.
I don't know about you, but when I told the imams of my resignation yesterday, a big burden went off my back.
So now you see, a month after I sent him that letter, he resigns, right? That was July, this is August.
Yes. So I hope that gave you a little relief. Praise be to Allah.
Now, after he resigns, and he comes to Newark, and we were talking. We had dinner at a place called Shaky Hut earlier part of the day before we went down to Robert Treat Hotel for a leadership program, excellence in leadership, acknowledging his excellent leadership. So there we talked, and one thing led to another in terms of me talking about my birthday a few times and getting interrupted. And so the third time, because our birthdays is 2 weeks apart, he said, you mentioned your birthday 3 times. what happened, we kept getting interrupted, and I would say it, the lead somewhere else. But anyway, he said, what you think, you're going to die or something? So he goes back to the cancer thing. So we talk about that. He say, Brother El-Amin, the people are living longer, the doctors are more advanced, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. He talks about the doctors and people are living, and so it's on his mind, the cancer thing, even though that's not where I was going. So I just listened to him, and then we go down to the Robert Treat, and well, there up at the other place, I said I resigned, and he said no, I didn't want anybody to resign. I wanted them to keep going. And he was also in a certain spirit, because he said, as we were leaving, he said, I could change, Brother El-Amin. He said, with these leaders, man, they just won't do right, etc. Okay. So I hope you see how this is flowing. Starting with, and I have prostate cancer, and it comes up again. Okay, the conversation. And so now, with that, when we go down to Robert Treat, after we done mentioned my cancer, he was concerned that I might have been worrying about it, right? And as I said before, you saw this resignation retracted. Now I have untreated cancer, and this is, and he's not going to let me allow that to get in the way of the work. As I said, he said that it's going to make you work harder. And then when he thought I was concerned about it that same day, he told me, what you think, you're going to die or something, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, in this blessed month of Ramadan, I, Mustafa El-Amin, et cetera, I don't have time to, and I don't want to take a lot of time, but you've seen this. But in the back of my mind, I have untreated cancer. But if the Imam needs help and our community needs help, I'm stepping forward. Now, again, the worst thing when you have cancer or anything like that is stress. Stress is a silent killer. So one could say, man, you should have been somewhere home taking care of your cancer, right? But I'm just letting you know that if people think, you step forward, you're the leader, whatever you think you are, that's a rose garden or something. No, that's accepting responsibility and sacrifice. That's not like somebody giving you a bucket full of roses, or everything gonna be hunkered there, like that there. No, this is real. This is serious. It's very serious. I got cancer talking like this in the back. This is serious. Listen very carefully here. my faith that got me through, brothers and sisters. Now, this is me announcing, which led to all the media coverage, etc. But again, our point is the aspect of it that we're emphasizing here. We've put things out is another major part of it was that I had cancer, and the whole process. It looked like a consistency, really, the way it was something succinct. The way all this unfolded. Concerning myself in particular, and the Imam and the work for the community, and hopefully encouraging others when you have these things, illness, keep the faith in Allah. So just be clear now. The seriousness of this, even with all this media coverage, etc. Okay, we have to wrap this up because it's time for me to run to the masjid for Salat. I'm doing this in the afternoon. This Chicago Tribune, if you can find, is December 3rd, 2003. A beautiful, beautiful coverage. As I showed here before. I didn't necessarily like this, but it was true after we talked that he was upset about this because, as I told you, it wasn't just what he said to us and what he said publicly. He told me that when you see him pointing to that Quran, that somebody had forged his signature, to try to get the ASM, so that if anything happened to him, they get Maz Cares, put Maz Cares under that. So when he told me that, I said, Brother Imam, I'll step forward and do whatever I can if you support me. Okay, so this was said with him knowing that I had cancer, but he said it was going to make you work harder, and that's just what happened. Islamic blacks feel sidelined. Chicago Tribune. New York Times, when I gave my presentation, but again, with cancer. And another article in the Star Ledger. So real quick, I did eventually get treated 2 years later. Let me show you that and wrap this up. Now look, I don't get treated for the prostate cancer for 2 years. Look at that. April 21st, 2005, right? Summary, complete summary. Look at this here. For prostate cancer, all right? Look at this here. That how much doses? I got the radiation treatment. Look when that was. February 25th, 2005, right? February 2005. All the way until when? April 21st, 2005, when I finally get treated for my prostate cancer. So we just kept doing what we had to do, had in the back of our mind, okay? Now, what happened in 2005? Now, you see I'm getting treated, right, in February, from February to April, right? But what do I do while I'm getting treated for cancer? What's the date on this Muslim Journal? February 25th, 2005. What does this say? 30 years of excellent leadership, an open letter to Imam W.D.Mohammed from Mustafa El-Amin, right? And look what this is here. $10,000. I pray that this letter will find you in the best of health and spirit. Please find enclosed with this letter a certified bank check in the amount of $10,000 while I'm getting treated for cancer, brothers and sisters. This is for real. And what did it say? Mustafa El-Amin of the American Society of Muslims. I did what I could to help do what we could, etc. And we did it, And if you had to think the Imam had a problem with that, he sure didn't. he didn't send the $10,000 back. Okay, and I said here, even though I wanted it to represent the effort that overall, but I did say this. So the check was a token of my appreciation. So I said, in closing, I would like for you to know that the token is from my best pocket and not my brother's vest pocket, like the Honorable W.D.Mohammed said, and I put a smile on here, right? If you can prove anything wrong, I give you $10,000 out of my brother's vest pocket. That's why I say it seemed like there was some kind of also coordination of some sort, some kind of spiritual coordination and consistency, because here I'm being treated in February 2005, finally, as 2 years into the work. And at the same time, while I'm being treated, that's February, I find it in myself to give $10,000. And I'm representing, that's me personally, but also the ASM, you know. So just wanted to share this here. Now, there's one other thing here, too, related to all of this. You know, you're getting the periodic follow-ups, but here's one, February 27th, 2006, right? A follow-up, right? To the prostate cancer, right? Now, what happened February? What happened in 2006? And then I didn't plan all this. I'm looking at it now, how it unfolds. After I draw the conclusion that we did what we had to do, look at this, February 24th, 2006. This is the first time that we're putting this out. Abrahamic Society of Muslims of North America. We did what we had to do with the American Society of Muslims. Now we're broadening it and moving it in a different area, Brother Imam. And he saw it just as you did, and then you can go look it up. That convention of that year, the Juma was the prayer of Abraham. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So I just wanted to share this with you in light of one aspect that wasn't there, even though before we were showing you the, you know, what went on with the ASM and some of the support and criticism, etc. Just that people didn't know. Imam Muhammad knew that I had the cancer, and I thank Allah, you know, we got through that. Then I ended up with sinus cancer, which we'll discuss that later on. Same year that Imam passed. So Abrahamic Society of Muslim, 2006, as I get a follow-up. So it's all spiritual. So I think that we can understand why something like this, we end up with a Quran, Imam pointing to the Quran, something that we didn't pose for, neither one of us, that triggered all of the media attention. So alhamdulillah, I hope we've been able to share something that would be beneficial to us all in some way. Assalamu alaikum.